BBC Hooniverse.
You're watching the TGM production. Hello and welcome to Brief Thoughts, but it's titled Short Thoughts because the word brief is very much not a great word to try and spell, so short sounds better in title, but in my mind it's Brief Thoughts. This is a series where I, Tom Mason, give you a thought that you can't really discuss for 10 or 20 minutes. We could discuss for 5 or 4 minutes. This is a subject point that could go on, so each episode there might be 3 parts of one episode, or there might be 2 parts of another. This is a debate that can go anywhere, and can be any length, but just not 20 to 30 minutes. 10 minutes is probably the maximum, and 3 minutes is probably the minimum. So, without further ado, let's get on to talk about our brief/short thoughts. Today we're talking about spin-offs in general, not any particular one, because in our last film, Abrupt Endings, we talked about the Sarah Jane Adventures. A few videos before that, we talked about the war between the land and the sea, and in the past, we've talked heavily about Torchwood, Class, K9 and Company, and the Australian show K9. But today, we're talking about it in a more of a general sense. So, I think spin-offs in general are really fascinating. Tales from the TARDIS is one of the key spin-offs that really fascinate me because they used the memory TARDIS and did all that jargon way before they needed to. What I mean by that is that they introduced the memory TARDIS. They introduced what a Tales from the TARDIS would look like in the main series, and that could have been the perfect go between that and then the spin-off. So if you went, right, that's that, here's the spin-off, because that's how spin-offs work. So if I have a character, let's say Jeff. Jeff's in an episode of Doctor Who. Now I want Jeff to have his own spin-off. Well, yeah, the audiences have met him in Doctor Who, and now he's got his own spin-off, and that makes sense. So I now think that for Tales from the TARDIS, he should have done the memory TARDIS bit in Doctor Who, done all of that, then done the Tales from the TARDIS. Right? I know they only do it for the 60th anniversary, and I know from what I can gather it seemed like a spur of the moment type program, but what I think is that if it had any resemblance or relevance in the main series at all, even if it's not mentioned, then it should have been shown on TV. I mean, as in, I don't mean like as in TV, but it should have been shown after the scenes and after the episodes come out where they utilised the memory TARDIS, because it all seemed out of place, and it meant that we didn't get a Tales from the TARDIS Doctor Who Unleashed special. Now, Doctor Who Unleashed is an excellent spin-off, but that doesn't really count in my list of spin-offs, because Doctor Who Confidential, Doctor Who Unleashed, and Totally Doctor Who, they don't count because they're more non-scripted shows, and they don't count because they don't have their own separate DVD releases. I mean, they should, but sadly, they don't, which is rather disappointing. And I think that what makes a spin-off good is when you can watch it and love it, and then get the DVD and watch it again and again. Doctor Who Confidential, Doctor Who Unleashed, Totally Doctor Who, Tales from the TARDIS are the only spin-offs so far to not get DVD releases or even any physical media releases. Yes, bits of Confidential have appeared in some of the DVDs, but they were very heavily edited. Which some people might say is a good thing. I'm not going to say that's a good thing, heavily edited Doctor Who Confidential. But that's why Unleashed is better, because Unleashed doesn't rely on copyrighted music. But that's what Unleashed did. I mean, Confidential relied on heavily copyrighted music. Doctor Who Unleashed didn't, because Doctor Who Unleashed had a physical, in-person presenter and not a narrator that chipped in every so often. So overall, I think that spin-offs in general are really good, but I think ones like Tales from the Tide should have been after the scenes that set it up were aired. I think the Confidential, Unleashed, Talking Doctor Who, and Tales from the TARDIS should all be released on DVD in full in their original forms, because I think that people, myself included, would go out and purchase them. So, there you have it, as we get to the 6 minutes and 33 mark. I'd like to say thank you for watching this. I'll be back soon with part 2 of this. That time we're going to be talking about why I think that the non-scripted Doctor Who spin-offs should be more praised than they are. Thanks for watching part 1 of this brand new series, Short Thoughts. My name's Tom. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel